Hey class, here's a little video that might help you with your homework. We worked on multiplying integers today, and these are the rules. It's always a positive times a positive equals a positive, a negative times a negative also equals a positive, and a positive times a negative is a negative. Negative times a positive is also a negative. It's hard for students to understand a negative times a negative becoming a positive, and we worked on lots of things to show that today. However, it is the rule. Here's some examples with numbers. Positive 4 times positive 3 gets a positive 12 answer. If just one of the factors, both of these factors are negative, so a negative times a negative is also a positive. But if just one of the factors is negative, the answer is negative. So here's a negative and a positive, negative answer, positive and a negative, negative answer. All right. The second part of that rule is if you're multiplying more than two factors. So in this example, you're multiplying 4 factors, -1, 3, -4, and 2. You're multiplying all of that. If you have an even number of negative factors, you're going to have a positive answer, positive product. So you have a negative factor and a negative factor. So you have 2 negative factors. That's an even number. 2 is an even number. So you're going to have a positive product. -1 times 3 gives you -3. -4 times positive 2 gives you -8. And a negative times a negative is a positive. So I could tell ahead of time 2 negative factors. I know that I'm going to have a positive product. Okay. Likewise, an odd number of negative products gives you, an odd number of negative factors gives you a negative product. So 1, 2, 3 negative factors. So I know I'm going to have a negative answer, but I just take it piece by piece. -1 times -3 is positive 3. Positive 4 times -2 is -8. And then positive 3 times -8 is -24. So those are the rules of multiplying integers. I'm gonna put some other videos in a playlist to prove why a negative times a negative is a positive, because that's very hard for students to understand. But I'll put some visuals, some visual videos from a few other teachers out there to help make sense of why a negative times a negative is a positive. But that's the basics. That should help you tonight on your homework.